The video starts with an officer moving a bag of money towards his van. We see him approaching the van as people around look towards the man. At the very moment, we see a group of men rushing towards the van. They came straight for the officer as this was clearly a robbery in broad daylight. We see them take the bag before rushing off the scene. Unfortunately, the culprits managed to escape in this situation. On our next video, we see a man dragging a bag right in front of the camera. The man is holding a gun as we see him move forward here. Suddenly, a car arrives as these men prepare to escape the scene. This was definitely a cash and transit robbery in progress. The culprits struggle to put the bag inside the car as they try to rush their way off the scene. Suddenly, a van comes ramming straight into the van. The clowns forgot about the money for a second there as they tried to save themselves from the incoming truck. The truck continues its chase as the robbers run for their lives. They definitely saw their lives flashing before their eyes for a second there. We see the robbers as they follow their getaway driver on foot, trying to make sense of the situation. The officers inside the truck were not about to give in without a fight. We see them returning to the area near the bag of money. We also see the robbers coming back. The culprits were not about to give up on the heist. They simultaneously move and shoot at the truck as they prepare to take the bag. This shows why these trucks should always be accompanied by backup in order to deal with these situations better. The truck was clearly outnumbered here as the officers tried in any way to fight back in this unfortunate situation. They eventually moved out of the area after receiving heavy gunfire, leaving the bag on the street. The culprits took the opportunity to take the money. Unfortunately, the robbers managed to get away with the heist. Props to those officers for trying their best in this unfortunate situation. South Africa has one of the highest rates in transit hijacking rates in the world. This video shows a group of men emptying a cash and transit truck. They had successfully opened the truck with men going up and down loading the getaway car. This is in broad daylight, which is purely astonishing as it shows how comfortable these clowns have become in causing havoc to a nation. Statistics from the Hawks show about 1,900 cash and transit heists within a 10-year period. This means South Africa has a possibility of a cash and transit heist every 2 days. We see the men as they pack the truck before they eventually leave the scene after finishing their heist. In this video, we see a security personnel carry a safe towards a van. The man starts unlocking the van as he prepared to put the money inside the truck. Just as he opened the door, we see men with guns approaching the truck. This was now a full-blown heist as the men demanded the money. The driver noticed the action and decided to drive off the scene. We see the culprits as they pressured the officer. This must have been terrifying for the officer as he faced a life and death situation. The culprits took the money and left the scene. Luckily, no one was hurt here. On our next video, we see people at an ATM as we see a security officer walking through with a bag of money. Suddenly, a man attacks the officer right by the door as he demanded for the money. The people scattered around as the other clowns joined in the act. The officer had no chance there. It's astonishing how these security personnel have little to no backup when delivering or taking high-risk assets in these high-risk areas. The men continue their heist as they intimidated the security personnel. This is one of the most dangerous jobs in South Africa due to the high probabilities of hijacks and robberies. Unfortunately, the culprits managed to escape in this situation. Here we see two ladies working behind the counter. They had no idea what was about to happen in a few minutes. Suddenly, the mood changes as the women seem to be unsettled by something. We see as they rush out of the room trying to escape the scene. The other lady turns back and starts communicating with the people on the other side of the glass. She then goes to open the door for the culprits. This seems suspicious at first as it was pretty clear there was no other way for them to enter that space. The men enter the room, and we can see the weapons they carried. They slowly move to the next room as they began their heist. We then see why the lady was forced to open the door as they had held the guard hostage and had possibly threatened to end the man's life if the door was not opened. We then see the clowns as they continue to investigate the room looking for valuables. These unfortunate circumstances are always hard for the victims, mostly in these life and death situations. The country has many illegal firearms stolen from the officials, which are then used in these robberies. We see the men as they continue to look for valuables here. One of the men seemed to be carrying a bag of money as they prepare to finish their heist. Unfortunately, these culprits managed to escape the scene. The video starts with a dash camera showing a car moving. The man was driving on the highway in broad daylight in South Africa. He had no idea what was about to happen in a few minutes. Criminals sometimes spot a victim days or months before the initial attack. When dealing with large amounts of money in the country, it is always important to either move with security or avoid carrying large amounts of cash. Due to corruption, sometimes the criminals get hold of information on money being transferred or individuals suspected to be carrying money around. Here we see a white Mercedes-Benz as it rushes ahead of the dashcam car. It then slows down. The men comes out of the vehicle with guns as they come for the two cars stopped. This was now a full-blown robbery. We see the heavy guns these culprits had. These are army-grade weapons. The heist continues as the clowns search the cars for valuables. We see one carrying a bag taken from the car. The bag had a huge amount of money which had been the target of the heist. This shows how these culprits had inside information when targeting this car. Unfortunately, they managed to escape the scene. The video begins with a cash and transit truck stopped next to a building. We see three men standing next to the truck as they seem to be minding their business. The security personnel were probably taking money from the building in order to deliver it to the bank. These are the most dangerous moments, mostly in South Africa. The culprits usually take advantage of this small window of opportunity when the security are moving the money from the building to the truck. The men outside continue to mind their business close to the truck, but they had no idea what was about to happen next. These trucks should have more protection when dealing with huge amounts of money. A perimeter should be set before the money is transferred to the truck. We see as the guard approaches the truck, and suddenly a group of men attacks the guard. We see as they take the bag of money before shooting the wheels of the truck. Fortunately, no one was hurt here, but the clowns managed to escape with the money. In our final video, we see a man recording what seems to be an ongoing cash and transit robbery. This is in broad daylight with everyone watching. Although the cameraman doesn't hold the camera well, we manage to see glimpses of what is taking place on the other side. We can see smoke from the area as the culprits had blown up the truck. Although these trucks are built to hold heavy impact, culprits uses heavy-duty explosives to blow the trucks. We then get a closer look of the truck, which is now completely destroyed by the explosives. We also see the culprits as they take the bags of money from the truck. It's astonishing how comfortable they are to do this in broad daylight. They continue to take the bags of money as they head to the getaway cars. This again shows the importance of backup when transporting valuable commodities. It should be unacceptable for a truck to only carry a few security personnel on the road. These trucks should be accompanied by security trucks dedicated to countering these situations. The country is experiencing a 30% increase each year in cash and transit heists. We see the culprits as they prepare to escape the scene after the heist. They move with no urgency at all, which shows how comfortable they have become due to corruption in both the national police and the justice system. The incompetence in these areas mostly lead to chaos which affect the whole nation. Unfortunately, these clowns managed to escape the scene after that heist. We then see the aftermath of the heist when the cameraman gets closer to the site of the crime. We can see bills scattered all over the place after the explosion.